Hello, guys. Okay, so today I thought I would pop in and have another live. So, this is a bonus live for this week because yesterday, which was my normal scheduled live on Thursdays, we had a little bit of an emergency. And so I had to cut out at around the 30-minute mark or so, and we weren't done. Um, and so, hang on a second. I don't know why it does this. Hang on. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Okay. It must have been playing on another channel or another screen. Anyways, okay, so yesterday we had a little bit of an emergency, and so I had to cut out and very quickly and without any, forewarning. So I wanted to pop in so that we could actually hang out a bit more today.
So I'm gonna give everybody a few
And
minutes
hang
before
on
we
just a
decide
second.
what color I'm going to do
Hang
next
on.
for this blanket.
I'm having a little bit
I'm gonna
of a
decide between
technical
a couple
difficulty
colors
here.
and then
Okay, give me just a moment. There we go. I think we're good. This is the only problem about having multiple things up and running, that you end up having things that turn on you all of a sudden. So anyway, okay, it's just me now. So today I decided that I wanted to go ahead and work on something different. So I had a plan to take my Floppy Cat pattern, which is up on my Etsy shop. And generally, when I would make the cat, it would be like his head is probably yay big, and then he's got his little floppy legs that come down. So he's like this cute little sort of dumpling shape and whatnot, and he has little floppy legs, and he's just super cute. But I wanted to make it in blanket yarn because I wanted to see how much bigger it became, and then I also wanted to try to figure out on the face, since before I was using acrylic yarn, and then I had the nose was felt and the mouth was yarn, I believe, or maybe actually it was embroidery thread. It's a little different with blanket yarn because blanket yarn is so thick that trying to sew some felt onto it, and because of the way that it's structured, I figured that it's not going to work very well to use felt. And I realized that probably 30 minutes before going live, and so I had already started the head in anticipation that I might need to make some changes. And then luckily I did, because I decided that I was going to change the color within going in the round for the nose, and just work the pink color into the face. So I've done that part. I'm going to go ahead and just do the top down so you guys can see. So it's getting quite big. Here he is so far. So I went ahead and I just stitched this in the round, so that way you're not having to sew that extra piece on. And then I may take some acrylic yarn and do the mouth. So we'll kind of play it by ear, I think, and see how that goes. So this pattern I'm definitely adjusting a little bit as we're going. So this is definitely having to Julianne multitasking time. Which we all know I'm not that great at. I'm going to try though. I'm going to try. So, one thing I decided to do was I worked in the back loops only for this top pink row, and that way you get that more defined line. So that's kind of one of the nice things about working in the back loops only. Sometimes it leaves that little ridge there, and it can be purposeful when you do it, in a certain way. Other times you can add, ruffles. If you're doing that around a dress or something, you could pick stitches up and do some ruffles on there. So that's another option. But for my case, I just wanted this line to be more defined. Otherwise, it kind of gives it that jagged look when you change colors in the round. So I think it came out pretty good. I'm happy with it. And I already popped the eyes in, so I wouldn't have to torture myself trying to do that again. Because if you remember yesterday, if you were here, or if you've watched the replay, I was working on Patti the Party Hat for my sprinkle character from my Yummy Cats. And I had two I needed to make. I ended up having to get my trusty tools out in order to pop the eye in, because I just could not get that silly eye popped in the back. But they're done. So before we start working on this cute little floppy cat, I figured I'd just give you a quick show and tell. So we've got two here. One is going to be for the influencer. So this is going to be for the influencer. Look at Sprinkle. And there's Patti. So Patti's got her little fluff ball hat, and she's removable. So I do I sew in an elastic band, and that way it can just be added as an addition. So Sprinkle doesn't have to have Patti on her head, but then she can. And I did a cute little stop motion yesterday. I'm playing around with stop motion. If you noticed, I have one that's called the Lone Coco that's over on my Yummy Cats, and it was one of the little Coco kittens, and they're kind of chasing after each other, and I loved it. Jennifer, oh, I'm so glad you were able to come in today. You popped in yesterday right when I had to leave so fast. I felt bad. I'm so glad that you're able to join us today. So let me know in the comments what you're working on, what you're sipping on, and I'm just doing my little show and tell because I finished the patties. So I had mentioned yesterday that I do the little bottom piece, and that's to cover the hideous looking inside because, I've got all these little green spots on Patti. So obviously, jumping around, it's going to look a bit of a mess inside. So this way it looks nice and polished. And then she just, with that elastic band, she just fits onto Sprinkle nice and easily. So this is going to be the one that's for the influencer that I'm going to work with. And then this is going to be the little giveaway guy or gal and her little party hat, Patti. Hello. I love making characters' voices and stuff. So anyway, oh, Crochandro. I don't think that I've seen you on here before. Tell me where you're tuning in from and what you're working on, what you're sipping on. So again, yesterday I had to hop out, but today I wanted to just hop in again, and then we can have our full live session. And I figured something else out that I could work on, which is my Floppy Cat. I'm making it out of blanket yarn. And I think I might also do this one as a kit as well, for those that, enjoy making things from the kit, and then I'll just provide all the stuff that you need. For this one, I'm using Bernat Blankets Brights, and it's this really pretty orange tone that I actually got to make a creamsicle Yummy Cat, but I haven't done that yet. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is perfect for my little orange cat. This is Carrot Orange is the color. So that's what I'm making the main body out of. And then this Floppy Cat has some little markings as well. It's got like 3 whiskers on the sides, and then it's got 3 little stripes on the top of the head. And so I'm going to use this really pretty sort of vibrant banana yellow tone, which I don't have the label for, but I'm positive that it's also a Brights from Bernat Blanket. So if you're looking for a yellow, this is a really pretty tone as well. All right, so what do we got? Jennifer, you're working on handle. What's a handle? Do tell. Awesome. And I've got my coffee, so I'm caffeinated, so we're good. I can crochet. So anyway, so now that I've done the facial part of it that I needed to, I'm going to start decreasing the head and then stuffing it, and then we'll start working on the other bits. I might have to do the same thing for the ears, actually, because in the pattern I used felt for the little triangle inside of the inner ear, and so I may just try to do some color changes and figure that out as we go. So we'll see how everything pans out. I am working on handle crochet. You're crocheting? Nice. Crochandra, where are you tuning in from? Are you in the US? So when I was working on this with this orange yarn earlier, I don't even know if I still have the bit that I cut off. Hang on, let me check. I'd never ever seen this before. It might be this one. One of them. Now I can't see it, of course, but one of them actually, there was a bit of it that was like yellow. It was really weird. It was like it didn't get dyed fully, so I went ahead and cut and then reworked it in because I didn't want like a random yellow spot on the side of its face. So I had to cut that one away. Yeah. And it was really cool. Last night I was just about to go to bed and I noticed that my manufacturer that I've been working with for the plushies for the Yummy Cats came back with the Nanner plushie. And I had mentioned yesterday, I thought by the end of this week I'd get to see what it looks like. Oh my gosh, it's so cute, you guys. It's like pudgy. It's very similar in how Sprinkle came out in the shape because they are all very similar in shape. They're meant to be like ice cream scoops, right? But he's like super chunky and it's awesome. I love it. Like, I love that there's a difference. They based it off of an illustration I did of Nanner, which actually I can show you what they based it off of. Hang on. So this is some of the marketing I've done. Where is it? Okay, so they based I can never tell what the camera is. Here we go. They based the plushie off of this Nanner. So he's like super squatty and chunky, which is adorable. I love like those little chunky dumpling shape things. So the Floppy Cat's very similar in that kind of, but it's a little bit more rounded, I would say. And then it's got the floppy limbs and stuff. So yeah. Do you guys have any plans for this weekend? Are you doing anything fun? My husband wants us to go to, I think it's Seaside, and I haven't been. I actually had to go fly with my dad to a funeral the last time they went, so they went for just a day trip, and we're going to go tomorrow, I think. Hopefully the weather is nice wherever that is, because I'm not so sure. Oops, I'm decreasing now. I've done all the rows where I needed to single crochet, so now I'm just starting the decreasing bit here. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll definitely be wearing lots of sunscreen because I burn so easily. It's crazy. I could burn in the dark, I feel. Oh. Yeah, just seeing that little plushie Nanner is just getting me so excited about the Kickstarter that I'm going to try to get going here. I'm still working on some illustrating, so that's what the holdup is at this point. I want to get there's like a sticker packs and buttons and magnets that I needed to design, and so I've been working on those. So when I'm not crocheting, I'm drawing basically at this point. But I'm really bad. I need to also, there's just too many things that I need to do and not enough time, I feel like, because I need to actually finish writing the third book I write for a children's book series. It's called Tales of Whimsy, and I decided it's going to be a trilogy. So I've already written the first two books. They're already published. The first one's Wish Weaver. The second one is The Wayward Wind. And the third book, which is going to be called The Wicked Wanter, that one I've almost finished. I'm like 3/4 the way, I'm to the very like climactic part of the book. And I've just haven't had the mental like energy to write. And so unfortunately it's been sitting at the wayside, but it's been way too long since the second book came out and I really need to get it done. But with those, it's tough because they are heavily illustrated, and that's exactly what I wanted. So every page or every spread has illustrations on it, which means basically that once I finish the manuscript portion of it, I'm going to have to start doing all of the illustrating, and that ends up taking that alone takes probably like 4 months to do, if not a little bit more, because I have to do over 100 illustrations in order to get them on every single page like I want. It's certainly a labor of love, and so it's tough. It's one of those things. I just got to do it. I have to just sit down. I have to force myself to do it. There's so many other things that I want to be doing, and so it's tough when that's the case because I just fill my time with other stuff instead of what I need to get done, because I actually have a publisher that's waiting, and I need to do it. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. But these other things, you know, it's like when you're passionate, super passionate about something and you want to just spend the time on that. Like I've been really excited about being here on YouTube more with you guys, and then also just getting this Patreon going for Frizzy Bee Crochet, and then getting this Kickstarter up and running. And it's just like so many things, you know. It's like all the things. I always had said I need more time in the day, and then I got laid off from my job like a month ago now. So I have more time in the day, but I'm filling it with additional things like crafty things and business things, but it's just like the time just flies. It flies. I'm loving it. I'm having so much fun doing all that stuff, but oh my gosh, it's just flying by, and I need to tend to task. So yeah, I gotta do it. I just gotta get it done. I even have a couple of whimsies that I've crocheted that need legs, so maybe that'll be one of these whips that I'll bring out one of these weeks, and we'll finish up. I think I've got like 2 or 3 whimsy plushies that are just her head with her body, and then they need their legs desperately. It's just bad. I get so sidetracked with stuff. Are you guys like that too? Okay, I'm just double checking that I didn't skip something here, and I think I did. Hang on. Bear with. 1. Okay. Here we go. That's better. Okay. I wanted to figure out, I might not do it with this one because I think I need to think more, and it's going to be tough to try to do that live, but I think I want to figure out on this one how to get the floppy arms and legs to just work in the round with the pattern, so that way it can be a no-sew pattern. So I might have to do this one again, and maybe in a different color scheme, and that way we can figure that part out. But I'd also have to figure out the ears. So the ears are kind of one of those things. A lot of times if you're wanting to avoid having to sew and you're trying to add ears to something, one thing you can do is put a slip knot on your hook, and then you can just start going in wherever you want it to start, and then you sort of just like crochet up across the rows, then you turn, and then you crochet down, and then you start building it up that way. So that is a possibility of what I could do to get it going, and without having to actually stitch something down, like whip stitching it down. So I'll have to think on that one if that's how I want to attach the ears. But something I need to consider, because I think no-sew, it seems, especially for those that are new to crocheting, it's a lot easier if you can make a pattern no-sew. So I've been trying to do that with most of the new ones that come out. It's not going to always be the possibility, but a lot of times I think you can put them together without having to sew pieces on and whatnot. You just take the ends and weave them in, that's all. Tie them off, weave them in. So that's a little sewing, I guess, but it's not really. I don't think those don't usually count. You're just trying to get rid of the ends basically at that point. So anyway, gosh, I hope I didn't miscount this. We'll find out. Almost down at the end of this round. Oh, I did it right. Okay. Sometimes I just get sidetracked and then I can't seem to count straight. I've seen different people using different techniques to help them keep their counts as they're going, like those Pop-It toys that some of the kids have. My son has a ton, but he doesn't really use them. He just collected them. But they'll use the pops to count the different rows or stitches or something if you have to remember where you were with whatever it is that you're working on. I thought that was a pretty unique way to go. So I'm gonna have to stuff this, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I only have one more decrease row. So let's go ahead and stuff it. I have my bag of stuffing right beside me here. I have no idea how much it's gonna take. Okay, let's get her going. Stuffing time. Oop. Okay. So I posted on Patreon. I have a poll going for 2 different ideas for next month's free pattern. The first one is, and I post a picture of them over there, but I'll just tell you what the animals are and stuff. So I have a design that I did for a ladybug, and I'm thinking she would be like yay big, so pretty decent sized ladybug. And then the other one is a capybara with an orange on his head, because that's been very popular lately, but I made it in my own style. And again, this is just drawn at this point, but I'm trying to figure out of those two potential patterns, what would you like to see more? A ladybug whose wings will be able to kind of be held up, and then I'm thinking underneath, since ladybugs have that underlayer of wing, of doing some sort of like a lacier underwing. So that would be kind of fun and tactile for kids, I think. So there's that, or the capybara with the orange on his head. So yeah, so I think that would be the 2 options for next month. So let me know in the comments if you have any opinions on the matter. Ladybug or capybara? Okay, let's see here. I don't know if I'm going to need much more. I feel like we're getting pretty stuffed here. I think I'm going to finish the last decrease row, and then from there we'll figure out if I need more stuffing. It just gives such good shape when you start adding the stuffing. It's so cute. I love plushies. They are so cute. So one of the other gals that was with us yesterday, Simply Made by Hand, she's live right now too, so she's not here, but I was checking, and she had gone to Hobby Lobby lately, and it was crazy because she found all of these like tons of different stuff at Hobby Lobby that was different prices. So right behind each other, it could have been skeins of yarn she was looking at. She was looking at canvases and different things, but they always put the pricing up in the corner, and it would be the difference of $1, $2. I think she saw some as $5 difference, and tons of different pricing at Hobby Lobby, all for the same item. So she was talking about how much of a scam that is, and you really have to dive into the stack of each product to see if you're getting the lowest price. So that's crazy. I've never actually been to Hobby Lobby. I tend to go to Joann's and Michael's, but I couldn't believe that. I'd never seen that before. Very, very crazy. Have you guys seen that? Have you been to Hobby Lobby, and have you seen that price change difference? I wonder why they do that. That's just crazy. Okay, hang on. Hang on. All right. Let me see. I feel like actually I need 2 more rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14. Is that right? All right, let me count another way. Hang on a sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, now I know where I am. Now I know where I am. Okay, so I actually have 2 more decreasing rows based on the pattern that I'm working from. So when you're having to decrease around stuffing, you kind of hold it in with your hand while going around. Otherwise, you'll end up with stuffing all throughout your stitches like that. I think after this, I'm going to finish my sticker pack illustration for my Kickstarter. I did some drawings of, actually I could show you the doodles I have so far. This is my little sketchbook here. So I have some little magnets that I was thinking of doing. So I don't know if you guys can see, but this one has Sprinkle with Patti, and Patti's saying party time, and it's got some balloons with other party hats on their heads. So that would be a magnet. And then the other magnet is one that has Sprinkle sitting on a cone. And then the other is Nanner sitting in a cup, and Sprinkle and Nanner are talking. Sprinkle says cone, Nanner says cup, then we got cone, then Nanner says cone, Sprinkle says cup, and then Nanner says, that's right, cup. So a little trick. He tricked Sprinkle on that one. So those are the two little designs I think I'll do for magnets. And then I'm trying to work up some other designs here for stickers. So one of the sticker packs is going to have each of the 8 different cats doing something different based on what their hobbies are. So that'll be fun. So I'll probably work on those because I really need to get all these things done so that I can get the Kickstarter up and running. So that is my plan for today. And hopefully it doesn't get too crazy in the house. The kids are home with their friends. My daughter's up the street with her friend, and then my son is here with his. So hopefully it doesn't get too loud in the house and I can actually maybe even get some filming done. I still need to finish those keychains too. There was those keychains that I told you about that I made out of clay. I need to finish those by painting them. So I've been debating. I might actually film myself painting those and make another video as well. And then I also have another video I need to do because I bought a bunch of different things from Temu. So I need to do a video where I can share that little haul with you. And I have some yarns I want to test out. I bought some hooks from them, so I want to test those out as well. And then I even bought some displays. So for whenever I end up doing the next market, I'll have some nice displays now because I was really not happy with the ones that I have. I need something that would build it up higher. Oh, you made it! Oh my gosh! So you must have just gone. Simply Made by Hand is here, guys. So she had a live over on her channel. You should check that out, but not until after this one, of course. I'm so glad that you made it, though. I was telling them about that Hobby Lobby craziness that you found, that all the prices are different. I've never, ever seen that before at a store. That's just nuts. So crazy. Did you finish your star blanket that you're working on? I'm working on a Floppy Cat, which is coming out, I think, pretty cute. And then I decided to change and add the nose as I went. Now I'm just finishing this up before I can make the other parts to it. So I'm so glad that you're able to tune in. Right before going live, my neighbor had a bunch of people at her house working on stuff. It was super loud, and I was like, oh, geez. Of course, yesterday I have to leave, and today it's going to be super loud, but luckily they seemed to finish when I started, so it was fine. But I've got one of my cats laying down next to me in his little spot. Merlin is over here, and I think Arthur's actually in the room as well. He's behind this wall on the bed, so he's enjoying his favorite spot, which is on our bed. They both have their favorite spots, which is so funny, and they're both by me. They always like to be by me, which is it's cute. You know, wherever I am, if I start moving around the house, then I generally will have Merlin at my feet walking around behind me. He's like my little shadow. 3 more days left until you're done with the star blanket. Wow. So is it like maybe like a point each day, or you work that in the round, don't you? It looked like you might be working that in the round. But from the picture, it looked really pretty. Okay. All right, so I've done all the decreasing. I need to finish this one up and decide if I want to stuff it anymore. I'm looking for scissors. I think I might need to add a little titch more stuffing. Well, I don't know. Maybe just a little bit. I'm going to add just a little bit more. Not much. Probably won't need that. Okay, here we go. It's always funny when their heads get all wonky donkey. Oh, now, okay, so you do 9 rounds a day. Very cool. I've seen like I've never done one, but I've seen those, what are they? I think they're called like weather blankets, where each day you do a different color based on that day's weather for your area. So they end up being these really pretty, different striped sort of colorations and stuff, so you can kind of follow the year based on the color. And then I've seen people do scarves in the same sort of technique. And then I've also seen somebody was going to do a snake that way, like an Ami snake, which I thought was pretty interesting. So people are so crafty and so, creative. I love it. All right. I need to stitch the end closed before I go to the next part, which is, I think I'm going to do the hands and legs next, or arms and legs next. All right. So when I'm finishing off, I just go through the front loops only here, and I weave my needle through until I get all the way around. And then the most funnest part is gently pulling it closed and seeing that little hole go away. Here we go. See? Temperature blanket, thank you. Oh, cool, you've done one? Yeah, I think that's a cool idea. I don't know how many colors you end up with from those, but I could see that being really neat. And it would be so different depending on where you live in the world. So no two would be the same. Very cool. Simply made by hand. Where, what state did you say you're in? Just out of curiosity. I think you're over here on the Pacific Northwest as well. Or not Pacific Northwest, but the West Coast rather. Okay, here we go. Where's my scissors? There we go. Pop that in. All right, so the head is done. So now I just need to do the rest of it, the limbs and such. So let me grab the yarn and get my pattern where I need it. Here we go. Okay, I'm good. I tend to do just a regular magic ring when I start with this blanket yarn. The double magic ring is difficult to do because it's such a thick yarn to use. So, oh, okay, East Texas, gotcha. Very cool. Hot, very hot. It hasn't been too bad here in Washington, actually, the last few days. It's been quite nice. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So since you've already finished your rows on your star blanket, what are you working on now? I keep forgetting I need to sip my coffee. And then it gets all watery and then it's not as good. Okay, stitch marker time. So I think I'm going to reach out to the influencer I was talking about for Sprinkle. I'll reach out to her today and share that the sprinkles have been finished. If I think you missed it, it was earlier today, but here they are, simply made by hand. Finished the 2 patties. Beep, beep, beep. It's always so fun when you actually finish something you've been working on. I've been I was going through my closet actually, because basically where my parents live, which is just up the road a piece from where we are, across the street from them, their neighbor's house burnt down the other night at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And so there was kind of a post out, because there's like a Facebook group for the area, and so there was a post out. They were looking for clothes of certain size and whatnot, and here's where you can drop them off and that sort of thing. And so I was going through, because the wife is same size as I am, so I went in and got her some clothes for her to wear, and some from my husband as well. But anyways, while I was doing that, I was noticing that I have more whips than I realized in there. I'd find a bag and then I'd, peek in. Oh, what's in here? I'm like, oh, another whip I left behind. Oh, you're making some face scrubbies? Oh, thank you for saying that. Yeah, Sprinkle's a cutie. She's a cutie with all her little rainbow sprinkles. She likes to party. Yeah, so I found the Whimsies, my spider character from my books. So I think, like I said, I think I have 2 or 3 of those that I need to finish. I've got that blanket I need to stitch together, the space blanket. I have the cat. It's a different cat. It's a sitting cat that I'm kind of redesigning. I have that one I need to finish. I had started a seagull that was from a book actually, so it's not my pattern, but I bought these really adorable books of patterns, and so I wanted to make this cute little seagull with a beanie on his head. So that's in there, and he's got his head, the beanie, his head, and like a lot of his body, probably at least half of his body is there, and then that's it. So he's in a bag. Right? Yeah, Simply Made saying her room's full of whips, but I can't stop myself from starting new projects. I know, you get so excited, right? You find something, you're like, oh my God, I have to start that now. I know just the yarn. You go grab your yarns, and then you get something else. It's like, what was it? Was that movie Up? With the cartoon movie where there was the dog that gets a collar and it makes it so he could talk, and he's trying to talk, and then all of a sudden he's like, squirrel, squirrel. Gets sidetracked so easily. Yeah. And I know that's not the only whips I have, because actually, no, I was pulling out a drawer. So there was another character somebody had contracted me to make years and years and years ago for my Geek Shikarumi Etsy shop. This is like based on anime and video games and that sort of a thing. And it was called a Veddel, Veddel. And I can't even remember what video game it was from, but it was this sort of like, it's like a bat character, and had full wings with wiring in them, and the body was kind of reminded me of like an avocado because it has leaves all around it, and then it's got legs that come down, and they're kind of in sort of like not a claw, but kind of I stitched them to kind of look like that, so they're just hanging down. It came out really good, and I was making another one because, of course, when I was making the one for this person, I didn't write down everything that I needed to for the pattern, and I didn't take pictures. That was the big thing, because I was going to release it on Geek Shikarumi, but I didn't actually take any pictures. And so I like to have tons of in progress pictures for my patterns, and that way people can just easily follow along and there's no questions about it. So yeah, that's in there. I think for the most part the pieces are almost done, based on the fact that it's a gallon sized Ziploc bag and it's pretty full. So yeah, so I've got that. I've got a bunch of squares that I made for a blanket that I think I'm going to turn into something else, like little side satchel bags or something, maybe some applique on there. Finding old projects makes you happy. You mean your old whips and stuff? It makes me happy, but then it makes me realize, like, I have so many things that I need to finish. Because there's a couple more in there, and I don't even, it's hard because, what do you do, right? One of them I found, it's a pattern that I was following, and the pattern was a mess. So the hair I'd finished the head. It was like this little, I think she's like a fairy, but it was back when I was first crocheting and I was following other people's patterns. It's that old, but it was a fairy of some sort. So I did the head, kind of elvish ears, the body with the dress, okay? But what it doesn't have is its hair, because the hair pattern is a mess. Now, I could probably just go in now that I've been crocheting for 15 years, I can probably go in and make up my own hair and it would be fine. I could finish it. But have I done that? No. I have not done that yet. So that one's also in there. And then I was also making like a sea dragon. Somebody had a sea dragon pattern, and I made the body, like the really wobbly looking body, but I hadn't made all of the, like it had the leafy bits, but I felt like they didn't look quite like the character. So I was thinking, oh, I'll make an adjustment and then I'll make my own. And then I never did. So I have, maybe we call it squirrelitis. It's like squirrel. Start something different, Yeah, I don't even want to know if there's more. Those are the ones I found. But I bet you there's probably more hiding somewhere. I'll find them. But this is what I need to do. I need to do this during our lives. I need to find a project that I need to finish, and then we just work on it here, because that way I can actually tick things off my list and not start new things like I'm doing right now. I was like, what could I do today? Let's get something new, shall we? Oh my gosh. I wonder how long these legs are going to be. Or right now I'm making, they're all the same size. So I wonder how long they're going to be. That'll give us a better idea of how big this cat's going to be. I think when I make the creamsicle yummy cat with this really pretty vibrant orange, I'm gonna make like the head part orange, but then maybe change it so the underbelly and the feet will be white, so you'll get that kind of creamsicle sort of look. I think that would be really cute. Simply Made is saying that she's the only problem is that she doesn't, sometimes she'll find things that doesn't remember what it is because it's not finished, and that's the only problem. Yeah, sometimes I have to kind of really backtrack myself too and be wondering the same thing. I'll find, like, I've made just random pieces, like a leg, or at one point I think I ended up frogging it because I really needed this buff toned color of Red Heart Super Saver. And so I ended up frogging the bit that I had. It was for a grommet, if you've ever seen that really cute claymation Wallace and Gromit. So I was making a grommet dog, and I'd already made one, so this was the second one. And I want to say I'd made the head without the eyes or anything. It was just the head shape. it got set aside and it became just another thing of pieces. And then at some point, I needed it to make this other dog pattern that I had, and I didn't have any more of that yarn. So I ended up just frogging what bit I had done of the head so I could use the yarn. So I guess it came in handy, but and it was all like crimped because it had been stitched in there for so long. But once you re-stitch it into some other shape, you can't tell. So. But it was nice I had that. And I've done so many corner to corner blankets now with the 3 different full blankets that I have a lot of here, actually, hang on. I'm using it as something. So these you use a lot, or I use a lot for corner to corner. They're super helpful. These are like giant plastic bobbins that you can buy from the dollar store. You get them in packs because they're like, what do you call them? Clothespins, but they're big plastic ones. And you can wind the yarn around them. So it helps hold the yarn to your piece as you're working around because you're having to change colors so much. So those are super helpful. But I had a ton of bits of yarn that I had wound around these bobbin things, tons of them of different colors. And so as I'm doing things and I'm making projects, I try to look at what I have there and see if I can use them so I can get them off of there and just use up the yarn, little small bits of yarn that I have. So, okay, let's see, consult my pattern. I think I might be decreasing now. How many rows have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Time to decrease. Yeah, have you ever done a corner to corner Grafcan before? Simply Made? Or anybody else for that matter. I really enjoy corner to corner. It's a lot of fun. Takes a lot of time though, that's for sure. Especially if you're doing a lot of color changes. Oh, come on. I do the invisible decrease, which is through the front loops only. So sometimes they don't want to work with me. Yeah, I love stuff that you can find at the dollar store. That can be used for Amis and stuff. Oh no, hang on guys. Why is this not working? 4, 5, 6, 6 is 12. Yeah, that should work. Okay, hang on, my count is wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease. No, it's not right. Why isn't it right? Hang on, I'm frogging. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Ah, crud. I think I forgot an increase round. You know what that means. Because it needed to be bigger. So sad. Oh, I hate frogging. No, so sad. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let me just count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think I have to go back one more. I know, right? It's awful. Of course it's live too. It's like, see, it happens to me too. It happens to me too. All right, let me count again. Hang on. If I have to go back to the start, it's going to be really embarrassing, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. but that's supposed to be 12. No. No. I'm so sad. Okay. I wonder if I started with 5 instead of 6. All right, we're down to the first one. Let's see. One more time to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I think there's 6 there. Oh my God. I can't believe that. Happens to me too. Seems like it happens more when I'm live. It's so funny. Just to be more embarrassing because you're all watching me, right? Frogging is the worst. I know. It's so sad. Ugh. Okay, let's see if we can do this. I'm going to make sure. Hang on. Okay, we're going to do this together because I don't want to have to frog this again. All right, I'm increasing evenly all the way around. I should end up with 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so I did, the first round was right, and then I messed up from there, so. All right, we're back in business. It's too funny. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. Probably hang out for another 10 minutes or so. Go bury my head in a corner. Yeah, we do. We do all make mistakes. You're right. I shouldn't be too down on myself. All right, now we're back in business. I'm curious too. This has made me want to do all of my patterns up in blanket yarn so that I can see how big they get. But I kind of want to do my little bee present. That's that square bee. I kind of want to do that in blanket yarn and see how big it gets. It's just fun. It's fun to see how the difference in the yarn size can adjust your pattern. All right. Let's hope this one is even. Yeah, I definitely had to frog it though because it was going to be way too small, and I'd already done the building up rows of it, and it was to the decrease part, so it needs to be the right size in comparison to the head. All right, it's going evenly now. One more increase row, I think, or no. All right, I think that's it. Okay, I'm gonna double check my count before I go and build it up again. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Oh yeah, we are good to go. Now we can build it up. Now it's just single crochet, so I can't really mess that up. Right? Yeah, I'll definitely show you the bee when I'm done. In fact, I'll probably just work on it too while I'm live with you guys one of these weeks. So the bee that I have there that I showed you, it actually has a foam block inside of it. So it's like super stable, right? It's not stuffed. So what I'm wondering is if I do the same thing, because it wouldn't be as cuddly, or if I just make it in the flat pieces, stitch it together in the cube shape, and then I just stuff it. So it'll be cube-ish, but it would be a little plump cube. Otherwise, in other words, what do you think? Let me know. Yeah, I think that size would be really cute as like a keychain. That could be cute. Oh, and I could make little teeny ones out of the thread and make like little earrings. That would be cute too. See all the different things you can do when you make them different sizes, and then you don't have to change the pattern at all, which is the best part. You just follow the same exact pattern, just change the hook and the thread or yarn that you're using, and then you end up with a whole different look to it. which is super neat. Yeah, let me know in the comments. Should I use a foam cube, giant foam cube, or should I stuff the square bee? Let me know. I think I should make the Frizzy Bee. I should design a little Frizzy Bee pattern that looks closer to that character. That would be adorable. What would be? The Frizzy Bee character or putting stuffing inside of the giant bee? Yeah, I love my little Frizzy Bee character. He's holding his little crochet hook. Super cute. All right, let me consult my pattern. We do not want another repeat. Okay, so I think I'm at the point of decreasing again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. All right, now we're going to decrease. And in theory, we should end up with the right amount because we have the right amount of stitches to start. I think I kind of want to just hang out with you guys. I'm going to hang out a little bit longer just because I want to finish this leg so I can just kind of get a better visualization on how big this thing's going to be. Oh, the bee earrings. Yes, those would be super cute, right? Like flying around your ear. I've done earrings before. I've made them out of shrink plastic and resin. And so they're lightweight. The yarn ones would be lightweight too, which would be nice. I don't think I would do the clay. Although I guess if you do small enough, the clay earrings would be doable as well. So they're not as heavy. You just don't want anything that's going to stretch your ears out. So my base is good. I ended up with the right amount of stitches. And these will be stuffed, so I will have to stuff it pretty soon. I think I have one more decrease row and then I'll be stuffing it. Oops. Okay, time to do another decrease. Sure, yep. All right. Here we go. Simply Made, do you do amigurumis as well? Or do you make, do you do more of the blankets and the purposeful things that are crocheted? Not that these don't have purpose, but, you know, their purpose is being cute and cuddly. Ooh. Okay, so but what do you when you make granny square earrings? Hi, Jennifer. Looks like I'm making a pumpkin. It's not a pumpkin. It's actually the leg of the Floppy Cat. So this is one of my patterns, and I wanted to make it giant with the blanket yarn. So this is one of the floppy legs, and I've already had to frog quite a bit of it because I got to round 5 and then realized I messed up on round 2. So yeah, but now I'm back and I've got my pumpkin shaped leg that I'm working on. Yeah. Oh, anyway, so okay, I do more blankets than anything else. Cool. So Simply Made, for the earrings, you did the granny square earrings. What do you make? Do you make or spray them with something or do anything to make them like more sturdy, or do you just crochet them and that's that? You've done some plushies too. Cool. How about you, Jennifer? Do you make plushies as well? Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I designed, and I have not started the pattern. I just did the drawing of it. But I designed a giant, it's going to be a dragon, but it's like a moth dragon. So it's going to have moth sort of inspired wings and tail. And then it's going to be have like a fuzzy chest. So I've got to figure out what yarn I want to use for that part of it. But it's going to be really cute. So I'm excited, but it's going to be big because I'm going to use a blanket yarn, and I might try using that one color that I showed you a few lives ago. I think it was also my yarn haul video, but it's this like really pretty variegated yarn that's called Cover Story. So I think I might try using that yarn. I need to find something I can use that yarn for because it was so pretty I had to buy it, but I had no plans for it. So I'm trying to make plans. All right. Decreasing time. Okay. This is such a pretty color. I love this orange tone. I wouldn't call it pastel. It's a little, it seems a little darker than a pastel, but very pretty. Uh-oh, I think I have to frog again. Hang on. Oh my gosh. 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we've got one. I think I was decreasing too much. Okay, let's try that again. At least going back part of a row is not that bad. Last time it was a little bit, it was sad. Pumpkin head. I know, it does look like a pumpkin head. You're right, it does. It would be a cute pumpkin color. Maybe around Halloween we can make pumpkins. But for now, it's a floppy cat. I'm not ready to start celebrating Halloween yet. Although Joanne's is. They are already celebrating. Simply Made. It's not ending up right. I don't know what I did. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this, in theory, should be row 9. Okay, you know what it was? Well, it's two things. One, I can't multitask. We have confirmed that is clearly not possible. I cannot talk and follow pattern at the same time. But I was just supposed to single crochet around. I was looking at the wrong line. So maybe I do need one of those. I need like a poppet or some sort of thing to count what rows I'm on so I don't get confused while I'm live. Hey, Jennifer, it's looking less like a pumpkin head, okay? It's becoming more oblong shaped here. Okay. All right. I'm counting again. I'm going to keep counting because I can't keep it in my head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So now I'm on 10. It is a decrease row. It's 2 single crochets and then an invisible decrease. Okay. That's my pattern to follow. Yell at me if you see me doing something different. Oh my gosh. Too funny. All right, come on, get those front loops. You still think it looks like a pumpkin head? It may now, but it's almost gonna not look like a pumpkin head. So just bear with. Okay, time to stuff. Simply Made says it doesn't look like a pumpkin head. Thank you. Could be one of those tall pumpkins, but no, I think it's better. All right, I'm stuffing it. Now, I think in the other one, now I don't remember because it's been so many years since I made this pattern. I might have used some poly beads, but I'm not going to in this one because not with the blanket yarn. It has slightly bigger holes, so I don't want them popping out everywhere. The stuffing will do the trick. Okay. Let's keep going. I just have another couple of rounds, 3 rounds to go. Then I flatten the piece and then I crochet the 2 sides together to make them a flat piece. That's what helps make it be very floppy because the 2 edges are together, so it's just a straight line, and that gives it that really floppy feel. Okay, and now we're doing another decrease round, and then we're going to flatten. So almost done. Almost done with this one. You guys have any plans for the afternoon? Do you get to just crochet some more, or are you going to do some other things this afternoon? Okay. Last decrease. Okay. Flatten the 2 sides and crochet them together. All right, time to close this baby up. Just deciding if I want to stuff anymore. I don't think I will. Let me just move the stuffing around a little bit here. Oh no. I think that's good. All right, let's stitch this thing up. So what I'm doing is I'm just adjusting, because I'm going to make this the front, because I need to make sure that this is on the end. Cleaning for the weekend. That's not fun. It'll be nice when it's done though. All right, and I'm crocheting the 2 sides together. Okay. And just gonna do 3 single crochets across, if it's gonna let me. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. All right. So that just shows you how big his arm is. And it's actually quite big. It is quite big for this guy. He's going to be a chunky boy. Because I haven't even done the ears yet. So I'm guessing the ears will probably be like up here. So that's got to be what? Like maybe 8 inches, 9 inches or so from top to bottom, I'm guessing. So we're almost done. And I will definitely post pictures and let you guys know how it comes out in the end. But so far, I'm happy with how it's turning out, and I'll just keep on working on this little guy and go from there. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little bonus live that we did this week. Next week, we'll be back to the same Thursday live as well. And then, you know, from there on, hopefully we won't have any more emergencies that make me hop off really quickly. That was nuts. So anyway, I hope you all have a great weekend, and thank you so much, Simply Made and Jennifer, for staying with me till the end and tuning in. And don't forget to like this video, comment below, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more of my lives as we have them every week. All right, bye guys.